Hey, everybody. Okay, make sure everybody's muted. Muting. Okay. Hi, welcome. It's the beginning of February. Um, okay, so we're in the middle, we're at the beginning of Team Cup month. This is a month to push hard, just like every other month. January is hard for me. And I think it's probably hard for a lot of people, and here's why. So we're really conditioned to think that like January is supposed to be some like magical month where magical goals happen, and we start our New Year's resolutions, or everybody wants to jump on board with the health and fitness train. And if that doesn't happen, that can be really discouraging. Not to mention, like, there's kind of like a holiday hangover that happens, and people like need to recover from that. And I feel like January is probably the worst month of the year, frankly, and I'm always delighted when it's over. But now it's February, and now is the time for us to refocus hard, because a whole month is already gone from this year. We all have huge goals. We all have big things we want to do. We all have huge things we want to accomplish. We all want to make more money. We all want to, be able to spend more time doing this in whatever fashion that means, if that means quitting our full-time jobs or working less or whatever it happens to be. Like, now is the time. Now is when we need to be doing the behaviors that are going to get us where we need to go. So first things first, I would like to go over goals from last week and set new goals for this week. And then I want to talk about something really exciting, because I was listening to the Life Coach School podcast in the car this morning, and like, she blew my mind. And I want to talk to you about this like crazy revelation two revelations that I had, one yesterday and one today. So first, goals from last week. I will go ahead and start. My goals were Success Club 10, 6 business invites a day, and in bed by 9:30 3 times a week. I did not hit Success Club 10. Some days I did 6 business invites a day, but not every day. On average, I did not do 6 business invites a day. So I did not meet my goal there. But I was in bed by 9:30 3 nights yet last week, and it felt really good, because I need the sleep. Like, that's me. I need more sleep. My goals for the coming week are Success Club 4 on my account. Hey, Carrie. Success Club 4 on Nick's account. So combined, that's one goal. I need both of those. My second goal is, I'm going to keep that same one. I need to be sending out more business invites. So I'm going to keep that at 6 business invites every single day, Monday through Saturday. So those are my goals for business. And then my personal goal for this week, is I need to drink more water. And by more water, I need to drink more than 1 liter a day. It's terrible. Okay, so those are my 3 goals. I better write those down. And we'll go ahead and Amy, you're next on my list. Amy? Oh, different Amy. I'm sorry, I had Amy written down because there was a different Amy on the call. Never mind. Okay, Carrie. Are you there?
Hey, sorry.
Hi.
I didn't get any of my goals accomplished this week. Like I said to Amy earlier, I just am at a point where I'm having to like push through. I'm distracted. So just getting the workouts done and trying to eat healthy was about all I could manage last week. So I'd like to keep the same goals, and maybe my awesome coach, Amy, would follow up with me in a day or two.
I'll follow up with you every day if you want me to.
Yeah. I need a like swift kick in the booty, I think.
I'll kick you.
What about working out in the morning? Because I know you said that was one of your goals. Did that happen? Some mornings?
No mornings, but I did it earlier in the day than I normally do.
Well, good.
So I just don't want to wait until like 10 o'clock at night like I had been doing. So I'm working it slowly but surely. I'm just not a morning person. So I need to force myself to do it.
What do you feel would help you meet those goals? What do you need? I mean, you asked Amy to check in with you. Like, is there anything that you could do for yourself to work on those goals? Like, what activities do you need to do to accomplish those goals this week? I guess is a better question.
I need to schedule a time in my day. Right now it's kind of like, oh, I'll get to it at some point, and I need to put it on my calendar and make it an appointment. Because if it's not on my calendar, I joke about this, but it's true. If it's not on my calendar, it doesn't happen.
That's totally
like, I forget about it.
Yeah.
So I just need to make it a priority. And right now it's just, I'm kind of like, oh, I'll do it. And then 9:30 comes and I'm like, I can't text anybody at 9:30 at night. You know, I'm like, so, except for Amy, who I text at like all crazy hours. So, but yeah, so I just need to make it a point on my calendar.
Definitely. Let me show you what I've been doing. Amber and I have both been doing this. And I think I probably showed you in some page. But basically, like, is this forward or backwards? I never know.
It's the right way. Okay. I can see it. Oh, so you have like a written calendar.
Yeah, every day. This is my little whiteboard. Every day I write this down. This is, so like Monday through Friday, it's pretty much the same. Saturday, Sunday, it changes. But like I write down what I'm doing and I break it up. And this actually is really good because it, like my husband sometimes has trouble when I just kind of end up on my computer forever. So he can see like, this is what I'm doing. Like, and I write in like, here's when I do my affirmations and goals, and I have breakfast and I get ready and I drive, I listen to personal development, I work, I do lunch. And then here, like 5 to 7, I've got family time. And then like clean up after dinner. And then here, this is like 7:30 to 9:30. It's like my power hour in our team call. And then the other amazing thing that I've started doing is this here. This is 3 things that every day I need to accomplish. 1 for our house, 1 for me, and 1 for my business. And I actually got this from Haley Christian, who's an amazing coach, and I follow her on Instagram. So like for the house, like I had to give my husband a haircut at lunch. So that was the house thing today. For me, I need to drink more water. For my business, I need to invite more. And so every day, you know, sometimes they stay the same and sometimes they change. But every day I do those, I write down 3 things that I'm going to do, 1 for me, 1 for the house, and 1 for my business. And I've been doing it for a couple of days now, and it's like, it really keeps me on track.
I'll have to give that a try then, because right now I'm just, you know, like I do the big things in my schedule, work, my kids' therapy, you know, whatever. But like, it's the little details that, like the things that I just want to get done, and I'm not putting them in.
Excellent. You can do this. It's a weird struggle at the beginning because you feel really scattered, but the main thing is just, you know, you need to prioritize what needs to be a priority. And only you can do that, but you need to make it happen. And you need to make, you know, if this business is important to you, you need to make this business a priority, you know, and treat it like a business. Don't leave it for something that, you know, you will get to at the end of the night if you have time, because you're not going to build a business that way. So, whether it's, I have 2 bathroom breaks that I will dedicate to in the morning while I'm at work, and I will do X, Y, and Z.
No, and that's what I need to do. I need to just Hawkeye stuff. Need to put it on my calendar for right after working at the preschool to come home and, eat my snack and then spend an hour doing the things that are important to me. So
Yes.
so
You can do this.
So I just need to, I'll be on track. I promise. I'm trying.
It's hard. I was such a scatterbrained like the first several months. Like I would say even almost a year. I didn't get a good routine going for a long time, and I regret not putting more effort into that. Awesome. Okay, thank you. Next is oh, Amy, you were on last time. What am I saying? You had to get off early, maybe? These are your goals.
No, there was another Amy on.
No, I know. But you were on, because I have your goals here, because I know that your personal goal was recommit to yourself in your Transform 20 journey.
Yeah.
Okay. How did your goals go this week?
Let's see, my goal was what? Success Club 5, right?
Yep.
Didn't make it.
Okay.
My other one was to recommit, wasn't it? Recommit to the business as well. So
and consistency, I think, is what you called it.
Yeah, consistency. I've been more consistent, that's for sure.
Good.
We've talked a little about this, but I'm just not here right now. I am, but I'm not. So yeah, I'll do better. I got to get out of this funk. So
yeah.
I'm in a funk right now.
Do you know, I mean, you don't have to share, but do you know what helps you get out of a funk?
Yeah, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
It's sunshine. I mean, it's just sunshine. We've had such a crappy winter here so far, and I know it, every time, but it is what it is,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier for me, sometimes it's not. I mean, I'm super stressed right now, which doesn't help, but even if I wasn't, I don't know if I'd still be in such a funk. So it's not that I don't want to be here. It's not that I don't want to, because I do. I'm committed to this, and I'm committed to myself, and I'm committed to my business. But, I know how Carrie feels, because sometimes life just gets in the way. So it just does.
You're right.
I got to pull myself out. I just got to pull myself out of this funk.
Yep. Yeah, you're the only one who can do it. And believe me, like, I understand so much exactly what you're feeling, because I have literally felt like that almost every single day, except for maybe the last most of a week. So I get it, and it's rough, but you can do it.
It is, and there's things that I would normally do that I don't want to do because it's not healthy, like have some drinks after dinner and whatever. And I don't want to do that because it's not good for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to stay committed, and I don't know. I can't tan, so I can't do that.
Don't do it.
I can't do it. I'm not allowed.
Get one of these. I've got this little deal.
Yeah, you told me about that. I'm gonna have to do something, because
it really helps.
It's really bad, and it hasn't been this bad in a long time. So
yeah, these are great. Amazon. Okay, good. Well, what are your goals for the coming week?
More invites. I'm going to try to do more invites. I want to be more, I don't want to say salesy, because that's not the right word, but I want to talk about Beachbody more in my challenge group.
Good.
I said that I was going to, and I started doing it, and they're not overly receptive, but that's okay. They will be. So
if they hear it enough, like, people They become interested the more they hear it. What does more mean to you? Does that mean like doubling what you're doing now, or hitting a specific number every day, or a total for the week?
Well, if you want me to be totally honest, more would be better than one, because that's what I've been doing is none. So I mean, one is better than none. So I mean, if you want me to be totally honest, I've been kind of shit. So I got to do something. So more, yes, more would be
Okay.
one or more.
Perfect.
Every day.
And what about number 2 for business?
Number 2 for business. Be a product of the product more, I think. I'm trying to do that on Facebook. You know, I listen to you, and I listen to Josh Coates, and I listen to, you know, all these different people, and I try to like pick and choose like little things out of every one, because I can't just follow just one, because I'm like, oh well, so and so has a good idea, and so has a good idea, and then if you listen to what Beachbody says, they're like, well, don't show the product and don't do this, and you know, I'm like, okay, can somebody please just tell me what to post every day? I mean, just tell me what to post.
I already do that.
I know you do, but I still have to think, and I don't want to think right now. So you're kind of sucking the life out of me, Alana.
Something that when I do it, it helps me so much, is I spend maybe 45 minutes on Sunday, and I go through that list of like what to post every week, and I write out a post for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I should do that.
Yeah, because then I keep them in the notes in my phone, and then I can just copy and paste, and then I don't have to think except for 45 minutes on one day a week.
Right.
If I can interrupt for a second, Josh had mentioned something during our first call that we had. If you can think of a time when you are super creative, and you do photography, right?
Me?
Yeah. Did you do photography? Who was I talking to?
I used to a long time ago. Yeah.
Okay. So like, you know, when you're at your most creative, like what time of day that is, whether it's like I'm in the bubble bath, or I'm in my car, or I'm shopping, or whatever it is, I'm vacuuming. Huh?
What the hell's a bubble bath?
I know, right? I that came out of my mouth, and I'm like, oh yeah, because that is probably on the bottom end of the list of things you get time to do. But whenever it is, he said to take whatever time you know that you're in your most creative space, and then sit down and write down, like pick a topic each week, and then just write down your story based off of that topic. So like, what would you talk about if you want to talk about motivation? And it's kind of along the lines of what Alana was talking about, but just with the twist of like knowing when you're at your most creative. Don't sit down if you've got like writer's block and you're sitting at your computer and you're like, I don't know. Please don't headbutt me. Thank you. You know, if you are having a moment where you're having writer's block, don't choose that moment to try to come up with a post. Are you not okay with me touching my face? So
You have the cutest helper.
This one, or who is in the background?
Sorry. This one here. He's adorable.
Thank you. They say you're cute. He's like, oh, I know. But anyway, so that's like the best. That's what I do, is if I'm trying to come up with ideas for any of my stuff with my business, I wait until I'm like in my most creative moment. And if you don't type that fast or write that fast, give yourself a voice memo, record it. So that way you can go back or I'll use speech to text. I know it doesn't always translate right, but you can go back and like correct things in it after the fact. But then you get it all out of here right away. The second tip that I used way back in the beginning, before I knew what I was doing with posting, is I wrote my post just how it came out of my head, like exactly how I wanted it. And then I went back and proofread it and took out, like, instead of putting Shakeology, put in my superfood shake, or instead of doing Transform 20, I'm doing this amazing 20-minute workout, and I would just swap them out after the fact. So that way you don't give yourself writer's block while you're in the middle of a post, and then you totally stifle your whole thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, actually, Christina just said, pretend you're talking to your best friend. Hold on, let me make sure I didn't miss that. But that's actually a really, really, really good point. I had kind of a revelation like last spring, I was talking to my success partner and I realized like when I was writing my posts, I was putting out a version of myself that wasn't the real true me. It was like, and the way they explained it to her was like, you know, when you meet somebody for the first time and you're like, hi, my name's Alana. So nice to meet you. And you're like hiding all the crazy because you don't want to scare people away. And that's what I was putting out on social media. And so that's who I was attracting back. I'm like, these people are so boring. Like, these are not my people. And I realized like, it's because I was sharing the version of me that was watered down and censored and edited. And when I started sharing me like this, like we're talking now, that's when I started attracting the people who were more like that, and the people that I wanted to spend time with, and the people that inspired me. And it was like, you have to talk to your best friend who knows every single weird quirk that you have, and, you know, person that you like, you know, talk about like the great poop you had last week, you know, like those kind of people. Like, you want to talk to people like that. And that's who you're going to attract back, is the people who want to have that conversation with you. And so exactly like Christina said, like, pretend like you're talking to your best friend when you post on social media. Okay, Amber, I saw that you wrote in your goals. Okay, stay consistent, business goal. 2, hit Success Club 5 this week, hit 10X this week. That was another one of mine that I wrote down this morning. Personal, take 2 to 3 hours this week for self-care. Good for you. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, let me write those down. Oh, Amy, what was your personal?
Hold on, sorry, I had to unmute myself. My phone was being stupid. My personal goal?
Yes.
I don't know, I don't have one. To get myself out of this funk.
Perfect.
Do whatever I have to do to get myself out of this funk.
Can you get yourself a sunshine lamp?
I'm going to have to get one.
Can I just tell you, I personally witnessed Alana going through her pre and post sunshine lamp, and even though she struggles with it a little bit, like, still, like, it's nothing in comparison to what she used to have. Like, night and day difference.
That's good to hear, because I feel like it's really, like, really apparent. Like, I feel like it makes a big difference, but I don't see it from the outside.
I literally, it was hard to get you to even like have a conversation unless it was like our team call time when you were at like your worst. And I, for you guys, you're gonna laugh, I was a really bad coach. I was really bad, and I, for a split second, started to think that maybe Alana was like giving up on me, and it had nothing to do with me. She was just having a hard time. And then the next week, all of a sudden, I started getting all these messages, and she was like checking in on me, and I'm like, what is going on? And then she was like, oh, you have to see this thing I got. And it was like, I didn't even know she was getting it. It was just like, I saw the rewards and then found out what was the cause after the fact. So
it's amazing. So amazing. Like, when I'm like, it has these little dots across the bottom. I don't know if you can see, it's pretty bright. I wonder if I could turn it. Nope, not gonna happen. Okay, it has these little dots, and a light will come on every 20 minutes, and so you know how long you've been sitting in front of it, and then it automatically shuts itself off after 2 hours. Like in the dark of winter, I sit there and I fill those lights up like 2 hours at a time. It's amazing. Okay.
You know, the other day when it got super rainy here for like 3 days, which it never does in Nevada, I literally told Alana I was having a hard time even getting myself up off the couch. I knew what I had to do. I actually brought my whiteboards to the couch, and like, goals. Like, and it was only after 3 days. So I can't imagine what you guys go through where you're at. And I told her if I lived where you guys were, my walls would be made of those. Oh, I will say, you know what? I actually did make a change. Do you see how bright my kitchen is? I went and swapped out all of my light bulbs in my house for daylight light bulbs. And everyone in the house, I mean, you would agree, Steve, you've been a lot happier, yeah? Like it's happier. Like otherwise you're just like, ugh. It's relaxing bulbs. Yeah. The sunlight bulbs help. So
The
maybe
daylight bulbs have made a huge.
I took a stab in the dark. I like white light anyway. So I was like, if this helps. We bought them one of the weeks when it was really raining here. And every day I come downstairs and I open all of my blinds, but the sun's not on that side of the house in the morning. So I open all of my blinds in my living room, and then I turn on all the lights in my kitchen, and I feel like I can start my day. But if I don't do that, it'll be like 2:30 in the afternoon before I do anything. So.
Oh man.
Get the light bulbs or the lamp.
Or both.
Okay.
Or both. And then call me if you just need hugs and loves. I'm really good at that. I have
move out of New York.
I have cute children.
I see that.
So does Alana. Garrett's a riot. If you ever need to laugh, like he's good too.
Sometimes, if he's not being a turd waffle. Okay. Oh well. All right, Christina, what are your goals?
Oh my God.
Well, actually, I had a I wouldn't say week because it wasn't like it was necessarily week, but basically I invited to the challenge group on Friday, like an animal. Like I literally just sent out so many invites. So many that I put like 15 number of people. And I actually went over that. Now I'm at 16, and I actually have someone last night who signed up with the Transform 20 Challenge Pack in Shakeology. They came back, so like that's really cool. But it was like funny because I texted Amber yesterday, and I said to her, I was like, oh my God, like everything's going really well. And now I understand why Alana says like everyone's low-key scared of success, because when you actually see it happens, it gets scary. I'm like, but I know I got this. I just got to keep going. But I just needed to vent a little bit because it was like I never had people be so active like in the chat and in the group like they're supposed to be. And the fact that my 15 numbers actually went overboard. I mean, it's good, but at the same time, I was like, I wasn't expecting that. But, like, I know it's there, so it's like, just gotta go. So, my 2 business goals are Success Club 20. So, right now I'm at 2. And then invite 10 people a day, like at least, to challenge group and the business opportunity, like both. But I'm going to sneak another goal in there. I have to do that Google streak. I need to like set up my organization, like 100%. And for my personal, I have so many doctor's appointments. I just need to like call and figure them all out. Like, I finally finished everything with the dentist, but then it turns out my arthritis medicine was making me thin out my hair, so I stopped that. So I have to I'm not going back on that medicine, so I have to tell the doctor. And then my eye things like here and there, so I'm not 100% with my sinuses. I could go on, but that's my spiel.
Well, I want to say you look awesome. You are looking really, really good, and you are being a product of the product, and it's really showing.
Thanks. I just woke up from a nap.
Well, even still. Okay, anybody have any other last comments, questions, words before we get into the meat of the call? No. Okay. So I was listening to the Life Coach School podcast. This is all taken from episode 21, which is called Jealousy. And I just want to preface this by saying that I will read the title of a podcast episode and I will be the first to judge it and say, I don't need to listen to that. And then I'm like, no, just listen. So I just listen. This episode has been the best episode that I have listened to. Perhaps because it's what I needed to hear right now. but it was so, so needed. Yes, Amber said she did the same thing with this episode because, like, I'm not a jealous person, but let me tell you about this episode. Okay, so really what this topic is about is when we see somebody else having success, we allow, like, and it happens to me, and I know it happens to everybody else, because when we allow ourselves to compare ourselves. And that's why people say, you know, don't compare yourself to anybody else. Put your blinders on. Don't, you know, follow top coaches. Don't do this. Don't do that. But the reason that that happens is because when we see other people having success, there's something that happens where we believe that because they are having success, that means that there's not enough success to go around for us to also have success. And we allow that way of thinking to affect how we see ourselves because we see somebody else doing well. And we think, well, they hit diamond in 2 months and I've been a coach for 2 years and I'm not diamond yet. You know, or, you know, I'm a diamond, but, you know, they did it faster or they did it better or they are younger than me. And all of these things just have to do with the way that we are viewing the whole situation. And what I mean by that is there is more than enough success in the world for you to have as much as you can possibly have, and for the person next to you to have as much as they can possibly have. And when we compare ourselves and we feel bad about ourselves and we allow ourselves to just like beat ourselves down because we see somebody else having success and we haven't gotten there yet, we're coming at it from a mindset of lack and scarcity. The podcast is called the Life Coach School Podcast with Brooke Castillo. Life changer. I think in my group posted another episode. I shared a link to it. So if you go back in that group, you'll find her podcast. She has a website. Let me read my notes, which, by the way, I transcribed as I was driving, so I have no idea what they even say right now. So the way that we can use other people's success rather than allowing ourselves to feel defeated anytime we see somebody who's like crushing it is we should be using their success to inspire us, to show us what's possible. So if we see somebody who, you know, they've been in this business for 13 minutes and they're already like 4-star diamond and, you know, making $1 million a year, like, that's what's possible. And, you know, yeah, maybe they came in at a different time and maybe they're at a different point in their journey and maybe they're in a different place, you know, mentally, but that doesn't mean that we can't get there. It doesn't mean that we can't accomplish what they've accomplished and more, but it'll happen in our own time because everybody's journey is different. But we can see that it's possible, which should give all of us an enormous amount of hope and inspiration. Sorry, I'm going to have to like keep deciphering my notes. So when you think about like, when you see somebody else having success, it's really easy to say to yourself, well, they got there so fast and I'm not there yet. But another way to think about it too is to think, if they got there that quickly by doing these things, how can I take what they're doing and apply it in my own way and make changes? And maybe I can, you know, take the next step even faster. It's almost like it's a competition between you and yourself, because if you come in and you accomplish a certain goal, you need to push just as hard against yourself, though. You're not competing with anybody else except for yourself, because there is no comparison. Like, you're the only person that there ever is who's going to be exactly like you. And yes, we all do the same thing. And yes, we are all health and fitness Beachbody coaches, but you are the only person who's going to say what you say in the way that you say it, which means that you're the only one who can inspire certain people. And that's amazing. Like, just because these people, you know, might have 14 coaches under them, it's because they maybe just talk to more people. It doesn't mean that their message is better. It doesn't mean that they are better at communicating. It doesn't mean that they're a more effective coach. Maybe it just means that they just happen to talk to more people. But the way that you communicate and the way that you say things, that's like, you're the only one who can say them that way. And that's really, really, really powerful, because that means that there are people in this world that nobody else can inspire except for you. And for you to give up and feel like you're defeated just because somebody else has success, and you allow yourself to not reach out and not to talk to people, you might be the only one who can reach that person, and you might be the only one who can change that person's life. And by holding back and by, approaching the business from this scarcity and lack mindset, you may not reach out to that person, and you may not have the ability to change their life, and their life may never be changed. And it's like, it's so important that we all remember how, this sounds like super special snowflake, but each one of us is like so unique in that we are the only one who can share our message in a certain way. And that makes us valuable. It makes us valuable to the fitness community. It makes us valuable to our family. It makes us valuable to our friends and to the world, because nobody else can share it the way that we can. And so we just have to remember it's not a competition between us and somebody else. It's a competition between us and us. Like, I'm competing against me. And I actually, yesterday morning, I was doing Transform 20, and I was looking at my Transformer tracker. And I was looking at the numbers, and I thought to myself, because like between last week and this week on the Monday workout, like the first one, I went up like 30 reps or something outrageous. And I was like, whoa, like that's crazy. And then I thought to myself, whoa, I better dial it back, because what if I can't make that number again next week? And then I started thinking, that's the dumbest thing that I have ever said, because it's about pushing me. It's about me improving me, competing against me. It doesn't matter if I hit that same number again. It doesn't matter if I do more or less. It just matters that I push as hard as I can on that day, because that's the only way I'm going to get better. And that's the only way I'm going to get faster and stronger. And I realized at the same time that I've been doing this in my business sometimes, which is where I will say to myself, like if I'm having a really good month, all of a sudden I think, oh, what if I sign everybody up this month and nobody signs up next month? That's the craziest thing also that I've ever said to myself, because I would you cannot sign everybody up in 1 month. And what sometimes happens is if you hold back and somebody doesn't sign up, they're not going to sign up. Maybe they don't sign up for another year because you hesitated and because you didn't bring that excitement. If you bring that excitement all the time, you're going to have that momentum moving forward, and there's always going to be people. There's always going to be somebody to reach out to talk to who's ready to sign up. And so if we pull back from that competition with ourselves and we say, I better lay off the reps because maybe I can't do the same amount next week, or, oh my gosh, I've got a bunch of people, I've hit Success Club 10 or whatever it is, I'm good. I want to save some people for later. Again, that's coming from this mindset of fear and lack and, not enough. We're afraid that there's literally not enough to go around. And that's never the case. There are always more people. There's always, more opportunities. You always have more energy. You always have, enough within you to keep going. Notes. Okay, I talked about that. Talked about that. And I talked about that. Boy, I'm on a roll. But I loved this podcast so much because that was exactly it. This is exactly what I say to myself. I get so down on myself And like I do this when because I love reading, and I totally relate to Haley Christian. But sometimes I become a little bit like weird and obsessed about it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have to be exactly like her, or I have to post like her because I relate to her. And then I start comparing myself in a bad way. And I think to myself, oh my gosh, she's like so amazing, or whatever it is. And then I think, how come I'm not that way yet? And that's the wrong question that I need to be asking myself. The question I need to be asking myself is, what can I do to be that successful? And it kind of, you have to shift the questions that you ask yourself. And I don't remember where I heard this. It was on one of Melissa did a team call, I think in December. She had a guest speaker on, and he talked about like how the questions that we ask ourselves determine the answers that we give ourselves. So if we ask ourselves negative questions like, why is my life so hard? Why can't I do this? Why can't I recruit coaches? Why aren't people signing up with me? If we ask those questions, our brain doesn't care the question that we ask. It will answer that question, whatever it is that we ask. So if we say, why can't I lose weight? We're going to answer that question in our head, and our brain is going to seek that out, and it's going to say, well, you can't lose weight because, you love sugar, you're addicted to carbs, you X, Y, and Z. And that's the narrative that we're going to tell ourselves. But if we flip the question and we say, how can I lose weight? Or who do I need to become to attract the coaches that I want to recruit? Then our brain looks for that answer, and it's a positive question, and it's going to elicit a positive answer. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. But I like, you guys, it's because the sun is out. That's why I'm like, woo! But we all just, it's okay to compare yourself to somebody as long as you don't do it from a place of scarcity and of lack and of negativity. It's okay to think to yourself, how can I do better to push myself to be and reach that level of success? That's an okay question to ask. So again, it goes back to like the question and how you phrase it that you ask yourself, but it also, we need people who are successful in our lives. We can't just like shut everybody out and be like, well, I have to put my blinders on and I have to do my thing and I can't look at anybody else and I have to stay in my lane. Like, we need people to inspire us, and we need to see what's possible when we accomplish, like, we need to see ourselves striving for what these people have, who we want to be like. We need people in our lives that, whether it's a top coach that you follow, or whether it's another mom who you think is like the best mom on the planet and you want to be like her, don't compare yourself to her and say, well, I'm not like her, so I'm not good. Say, I want to be like her. What can I do? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves. And that gets us out of that mindset of like being jealous of people who have what we want, and having the narrative in our head that will push us to do better versus hold us back. So I feel like I can never end these things. I'm like, oh, that's it. I want to hear, like, does anybody else have, like, I'm sure this isn't just me. Like, can we just go around for a minute and like tell me, like, share with the group, what is the most common thing you tell yourself when you see somebody who is really successful and you feel like you're not there yet? Because for me, that's exactly it. I think I can't do it because I haven't done it yet. That's what I tell myself in my head. Anybody else want to go?
Wait, what was the question again?
So like, if you see somebody who's like super successful, or if you look at a coach who's like, Melanie Mitro or one of the top coaches, and you think about where they are versus where you are, like, what do you say to yourself? Like, are you inspired by them? And you say, yes, if they can do it, so can I? Or do you tell yourself, like, I haven't done it yet and I don't know if I can do it. Like, they're special, I'm not. Like, what do you say?
So, I'm
For
gonna
me-
oh, sorry. Do you want to go? What's that? I don't know who's talking. You sure, Carrie? You could go. It's okay. All right. So anyway, um, I'm a huge fan of Christina Delgado. I don't know if it's because our name is spelled the way, or like I think it's just like her energy in general. But also like I've asked her like, oh, where'd you get your shoes? And she answers me no problem too. So like that could be it too. But at first, like as I read her stuff, and like she's a retired lawyer, so it's like, and she paid off all the debt. So like, and when she talks like, oh, this many years ago, like I see I see it as like okay, she's talking about like like this is this amount of years. So like if I'm making this my year one, hello, I'll be where she is in a few years. So like that's how like I'm like channeling it. Or it's like, oh well she did that, and it's like, well I have all this help, so it's like why can't I do that even sooner? Like if she's literally doing the same thing that we're doing, so what's the difference between her and me? Like there's literally none, except what she's working more than I am. That's probably the only difference, you know. So that's how I see it. Like it's like woo, let's go.
Good. That's awesome. So you already do this. You already use people who are ahead of you as somebody to inspire you.
Yeah, because especially like when they talk about like, oh, like I've been doing this for 7 years, or I've been doing this, like I know like age like doesn't mean nothing, because there's people that are like in their 70s doing 80-day obsession and all that and kicking butt. I don't know if you remember, I don't remember that lady's name, but oh
Her
my
name
gosh.
is Jean.
Yeah, no, it was an 80-day obsession. She was really cute. Eileen.
Yeah, the little old lady with like the light blonde
Yeah,
hair.
Eileen, she was so cute. So cute. But anyway, so it's like if they could, you know, do the workout, then it's like so could I, whatever. So it's like especially like me, like that I'm turning 23 in May, and it's like, you know, like my boyfriend and I were talking about like our house and this and that, and he's talking potential budget. Like in my head, I'm like, you don't know what I'm about to do for us right now. You know? So it's like I just like like I'm not trying to say it's because I'm young, because again like age means nothing, but it's like I just feel like I have such like an advantage because like it's clicking to me now, so it's like
Good for you.
and I'm also like getting to the point where it's like even though like my stomach's hurting this and that, like I'm still getting my workouts done, but I'm also sharing that I'm not feeling the best either. So it's like I feel like that's like intertwined too, because I didn't realize how many people actually like read my post and respond. That like Loki is like, wow, okay. But anyway, I'm okay.
Yeah. Anybody else want to go? Carrie, you want to go?
I guess for me, like I get really super excited and I'm like, I can do this, I can do this. But then I'm like, I guess I don't know how they got there. So I'm like, well, she must have had a bigger social, network than I did, or, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure she just started the same, she started the same way. Like they had self-doubt, but I get excited and then I'm like, oh, but can I do this? And I need to stop saying, can I, and just be like, I can.
Yeah. Or say, how can I? How can I do this? Yeah. 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 And sometimes the great thing about being so new into this business is you don't know how other people do it. So you might have these ideas that are so fantastic, and just try it. Like you don't know what it's like. I don't know how to explain this. Like, I feel like when I was a brand new coach, I didn't really know how to do it. So I just kind of did something and it happened to work. And like, if I did that now, I would scare myself. And I don't know why, but it's just like you come in and you don't know what to expect, and you don't know what's, normal. So you just do what works. Amber, you said, I've struggled in the past with telling myself that I'm not as good a leader as these girls that I see online. Yes, I also struggled with that at the beginning as well. Why do you believe that? It's loud. Yes. Do, 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 do. Okay, what helped me recently is one of Rachel Hollis's recent podcasts when she did an interview with another girl. She said, people look at us and they say, look at Rachel. She has so many followers. And Rachel said it took her 10 years to get this. Yes. Actually, the first year that I went to Summit in New Orleans, I attended Josh Coates' The Power of I Am seminar, not webinar, but like whatever, event the day before Summit started. And there was an author there, and her name is Kira Alwell Leba, I think. She has a blog called, I think it's called like the Champagne Blog, and she's an author. And she talked about how she worked her ass off, and then all of a sudden she got success, and everybody's like, she came out of nowhere, like this girl's an overnight success. And she's like, my ass, like every overnight success is 10 years in the making. And that's the thing, like so the people that you see, like we don't see the behind the scenes. We don't see the, what's happening, here and there and behind the scenes. And then all of a sudden when they come into the light and everybody knows their name, then we're like, she came out of nowhere. Like this girl is, on fire, whatever it is. But these people have been working their asses off. It's like the compound effect where you do these teeny tiny activities every single day and you're consistent, and they add up over time. And the more you do them, the more consistent you are, and the more consistent you are, the more they add up until it just kind of turns into this snowball that just like becomes this exponential growth. And that is why we see people who appear to be this overnight success. Exactly. Like it's do the activities now and look to the people who are inspiring us and say, why can't I be there someday? Just like that person. What's stopping me? Amber, I have no good reason at all to think I'm not a good leader. I use it as an excuse. I need to put in the work. You just weren't. I just wasn't before. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I didn't mean that in a bad way, but it totally, yes, agreed. I totally agree. Anybody else care to comment? Otherwise, that is all I have for tonight. Also, photo. If everybody wants to take a photo. I need to take a photo. Amber, you want to turn your video on for a minute and we can do a photo? Amber. I don't know where she is. Amy's gone. Okay, where's Amber? Okay, we'll take a photo, and if Amber comes back on in a minute.
She said she's tired of us.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, she did not.
Okay, everybody wave. I'm gonna do a boomerang. Okay. Ready, wave. Yay. Okay, everybody else got a picture? Need a picture? Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks you guys. Again, Team Cup, like do your daily activities, even if it's like one thing a day, do something, because when you stop completely, it's like, and so Josh Coates uses this, and it's something that John Maxwell said, who was his mentor. And he said that at full speed, a freight train can crash through a building. And if that freight train is stopped and you put a little block of wood in front of the wheel, that freight train will not be able to move. And that's exactly how momentum works. So even if you just take one step one day, even if you just drink your shake, even if you just start one new conversation with somebody, do one thing every day. Doesn't matter what it is. You just have to keep moving forward. Yes, Christina.
I found that the main thing that helped me, like when I was in like the funk, area, not even necessarily like the funk, like just like I wasn't where I felt like I should be or wasn't doing what I was supposed to be. The main reason was because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing for me, meaning like my personal development, my workout, my shake. Like I know there's like, another one too, but like for me, like those three things, when I didn't do that, like that's how like it all went down. And then like when I started doing that, like, okay, yeah, like you do have to message people like, hey, I have a group, this, that. But as much as like I was doing that here and there, I was also getting people telling me like, hey, I see, like you look great, this and that, whatever. So it's like people see you do that, like they're going to reach you out too. So like maybe, something happens and you don't like go out inviting people, tomorrow. But from you sharing your stuff, one person's messaging you, and now that one person you have, and you didn't even necessarily. Eddie, shut up. My brother's like this in the background, like as I'm preaching. So like as they're doing that, like they're still seeing you, and then it's like, oh wow, okay, now I'm being watched. Now I have to keep it up because they're watching me. Like that's how my whole groove started back up. And
Yeah.
then it's like as I see myself like growing, like I'm also telling myself like it's okay, like I know where I want to be, I know I have big goals, like it's okay, just keep doing what you're doing, just keep doing what you're doing. So that's like where I'm at.
Thank you. Yes, that's a fantastic point. It's just keep going forward, just keep moving forward, even on the days you feel like shit. I mean, I had so like almost every day last month I was like, nope, I don't want to do it, I don't want to get up, I don't want to do it. And I did it and I felt better. So I hope that helps.
2 days in a row now with my Crohn's, it's where I'm eating, and then like I go to the bathroom and I'm throwing up. I don't know why that's starting back up, but anyway, so it's like by me, like I'm not saying like, oh yeah, everyone go throw up and work out. Like obviously that's not true, but I know it's like my Crohn's, not like for other reasons. So that's why like I'm still pushing myself, and like I was telling myself like no one wants to know, that like I'm throwing up on it. But then again, it by me putting it out there, it's showing people that okay, she's not 100%. She does have problems, but yet she's still getting up and doing her workout. So like honestly, people, F it. Put yourself out there. Who gives a crap? Who gives a crap? Honestly. Like just throw it up all over everyone. Like just put up a stupid poll like what shoe should I wear today, or like just any little thing. Like I would even for my story like record when I was walking somewhere, like just so I would have a post like of my feet, like oh, where's she going today, like like just little stupid things. Well, not stupid things, but you know what I mean.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to call it for the night. Thank you all again so much for getting on. Either go to bed or go do your power hour, but I hope everybody, Amber, you're on. Okay, hold on, new picture. Okay, hold on. All righty. Come on. All right, everybody ready? Wave. Awesome. Okay, thank you. So have a great night, and Team Cup, crush it. Have a good bye. Bye, guys.